let's go through the entire Atlanta Falcons 2025 schedule and go game by game, giving out wins and losses. Now, before we look at the schedule, I do think we should look at how I did last year to see if I'm any good at this. Last year, I'm not saying I had the Falcons winning 12 games. I'm saying in my 17 game-by-game predictions, I went 12-5 in terms of the accuracy of correctly predicting a win or a loss. The season before that, I was 14-3 in accurately predicting win or loss. I didn't predict them to go 14-3. Very different prediction. Just I went 14-3 in all my game-by-game predictions. So now, let's look at my predictions for the Falcons 2025 season, where they open things up at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've got that as a loss. I've got it as a loss. It's Michael Penix, week 1. Maybe some of the jitters a little bit. I mean, not his first NFL start, but his first time starting in week 1, first time going into the season as the starter. And I'm going to go with the Buccaneers and their experience and coming off the success they had at the end of last year. So week 1, I'm going to say loss. I know I'm already pissing off a lot of people, but you can see the last 2 years have been pretty accurate. Week 2 in Minnesota, I've got this as a win on Sunday Night Football. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings play week 1 on Monday night in Chicago. Back-to-back primetime games, way too big of a spotlight for the more or less rookie quarterback up in Minnesota. So I'll go with the win for the Dirty Birds. Week 3 in Carolina, I'm going to say loss. This is probably going to catch you off guard, having them lose 2 out of their first 3 weeks, especially coming against divisional opponents. But I think the Panthers are going to be better in 2025 than the last couple of seasons. And on the road, I don't think that's a gimme anymore. For one, we know how Week 18 went last year, so I'll go with the loss there. Week 4, Jaden Daniels, revenge matchup for Penix and company. I've got this as a win for the Falcons. I think the Commanders actually take a step back this year. One, it'd be very difficult to match what they did last year, going all the way to the NFC Championship game. But I think the Falcons at home bounce back after a road loss to Carolina and give Daniels a loss in Week 4. Week 5, they have a bye. Disgusting. They're going to play in Berlin in Week 10, which we'll get to in a moment. When you play overseas, you are offered the opportunity to have your bye the next week. Now, I don't know for sure, but I thought when you played internationally, you get a bit of a say in when your bye is. Maybe, maybe not. I think you get a say into whether or not you have it the very next week. If you opt against that, then it could be at any other week. But I thought, hey, since we're playing you in Berlin, you get to pick what week you have your bye. This year, you're seeing a ton of teams play overseas and not have their bye the next week. So maybe a change of thinking of how to work the bye when going across the pond. But after their very early bye, they have the Bills at home on Monday night, back-to-back primetime games. I'm going to say loss. Not a great start for the Dirty Birds. What are they at this point now? 2-3 through 5 weeks of the season. So I'll say loss for Buffalo. Week 7, they've got the Niners on Sunday night over in Santa Clara. Back-to-back losses. And now people are really getting mad in the comment section because the Falcons are 2-4 going into Week 8 against the Miami Dolphins, which is a win. I'm going to say this is a win for the Falcons. They get to 3-4 on the season, approaching. That's the halfway mark of the year, so a lot of football left, but they got off to a strong start last year. We saw how that fizzled out, so you're not dead at 3-4. The 2024 Buccaneers can tell you that. How many wins, though, for Atlanta this upcoming season? I'm going to give you my response at the end of the video when we go through all 17 games, but let me know in the comment section how many games you think the Falcons are going to win this year. So 3-4 going into Week 9, and I'm going to say in New England, that's a win right there. Now they're starting to get back on track. Now they're starting to stack win after win here, following a back-to-back NFC East win. Then they've got the Colts in Berlin. Week 10, I go with a loss. I just think this could be one of those frisky Colt games, right? Shane Steichen and the boys, I don't know who's going to be quarterback for them. I don't like either quarterback option for them, Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. But we saw the Falcons last year around this point lose some games that they probably should not have lost. Cough, cough, the Saints game. So I'll say a loss in Germany. They come back home after that game. They play the Panthers. That's a win right there. So now they're getting back closer to 500. They got Carolina and New Orleans, 2 straight home games in the division. Make it 2 straight wins for the Falcons, winning 4 out of their last 5 from weeks 12 all the way to week 8. Week 13 against the Jets on the road, loss. Yeah, I don't think Atlanta is going to string together that massive of a win streak, so I'll balance the ties with a week 13 loss. Going into the final 5 weeks of the season, the Falcons sitting there right at 500, I think. And week 14, Seattle comes to town, and they lose because Atlanta knocks them off. I always find it funny when people give like score predictions for all 17 games, but I'll give one for week 14. This gives me major 28-20 vibes. How about a 4th and goal stop? AJ Terrell breaks it up from the 5, turnover on downs, victory formation. Week 15 at Tampa, Thursday night, win. And now the Falcons are starting to join the conversation of teams you don't want to face in the playoffs. They were 3-4 halfway through the season. Look at them now. Week 16, they play the Arizona Cardinals on the road. I'm going to say loss. I think the Cardinals are going to be a good team this upcoming season. And going, back-to-back road games, sure, the extra rest playing on Thursday night, but I'll still take the loss right there. Then the last 2 games of the season, Rams, Monday night at home. I'll make it a win. Give me a win against the Rams, and then they sweep the Aints in Week 18, and they close out the year winning 4 out of their last 5. So let's go back to Week 1, and then Reed will count all the wins together here for the Falcons in my 2025 prediction video. So opening up the season at home against the Buccaneers, I've got that as a loss, but 2-2 after the first kind of a quarter of the season. Then you've got weeks 5 through 8. They go from 2-2 to 2-3, 2-4, 3-4. 3-4 going into the second half of the season. They follow up that 3-4 win with 4-4, 4-5, 5-5, 6-5, 6-6. They're in the hunt, baby. And then they get hot. 7-6, 8-6, 8-7, 9-7, 10-7. That's a 10-7 team no one wants to play all of a sudden. They were 3-4 in the blink of an eye. They're 10-7, and they're hosting a playoff game in the Benz. Maybe a clunky way of getting there, but I'll let my track record from the last 2 years speak for itself. So I'll go 10-7 for the Falcons in 2025, and the playoff drought ends. It's tied with the Carolina Panthers for the longest playoff drought in the NFC. Before we get on out of here, quick reminder, Jalen Walker and James Pierce jerseys are available at chatsports.com/ATL rookies. If you would like to get your hands on one, I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. It's a great way to support the channel while also getting yourself a brand new Falcons jersey. Now, before we sign off, I do have an announcement to share. Some of you might have already heard or seen this, but a quick show update. This upcoming Friday, or next Friday, May 23rd, depending on when you're watching this, it will be my last day at Chat Sports. It will be my last day hosting Falcons Today. I'll make some periodic announcements leading up to the 23rd, because I know not everyone watches every video, but I've decided to make a complete career change altogether. I've loved my job, and I've loved hanging out with you guys on a daily basis for the last couple of years and covering this team and talking about this team with you, but at this point in my life, I had an opportunity that I was very excited about, and so I'm making a complete change altogether. I'll give more details and updates on the 23rd, but didn't want to blindside anyone on that day. So bittersweet, but Friday the 23rd will be my last day hosting Falcons Today. Let's spin the wheel to give 2 claps out to a viewer from our live show. All right, here we go. Gabriel, 2 claps for you, Gabe. 1, 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. We will sign off, and we'll see everyone next time.